Hey, welcome. Have you ever looked at two words, like rain and play, and thought, wait a minute, they have the same vowel sound, so why on earth are they spelled so differently? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're going to crack that code by exploring a really powerful concept called vowel teams.
All right, let's just dive right in. We're going to start with a puzzle that trips up pretty much every new reader. And if we're being honest, plenty of us adults too.
And this is a totally fair question, right? English spelling can feel like it has no rules at all. It seems chaotic, super inconsistent, and just weird. If you've ever gotten frustrated trying to sound out a word, trust me, you are in good company.
Okay, so a huge part of the problem boils down to this number right here. In English, we make over 18, that's right, 18 different vowel sounds when we talk.
And yet, we only have these 5 little letters to represent all those sounds. You can throw Y in there sometimes, sure, but that still leaves a pretty big mismatch between the sounds we make and the letters we have to write them. So, what do?
Well, how does English get around this problem? It's simple, really. When you don't have enough individual players to get the job done, you put them on a team. The solution is teamwork.
It's just like in sports. Letters can team up to achieve a goal they couldn't handle on their own. And today, we're going to focus on some of the most valuable players in the entire reading game. Vowel teams. So what is a vowel team exactly? It's just what it sounds like, 2 or more letters that huddle up to make one single vowel sound. The most important thing to remember is that you don't sound them out one by one. Nope, they're a package deal. You see them together, you say them together. Now, I'm sure you've heard this old rhyme from school, right? When 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. It's catchy. The only problem? It's only right less than 40% of the time. Yeah, not great odds. So we're going to throw that rule right out the window and learn a much better, more reliable way to figure these words out. Let's meet our first group of teams. These are the guys responsible for making the long A sound. That's the A sound you hear in a word like acorn. First up, we've got Team A. This is one of your most reliable players. When you see A and I next to each other, they're almost always going to make that long A sound. You can hear it so clearly in words like rain, train, and paint. See, in every single one, the A and I are working together to make just one sound, A. Okay, next up is Team A. And get this, it makes the exact same long A sound as Team I. You'll find this one in words like play, day, and say. It's the same sound, just a different team of letters making it. Which leads to the obvious question, how do you know which one to use? Well, here's the secret. It's all about location, location, location. The AI team, as in rain, almost always shows up in the middle of a word. But the A team, as in play, you'll find that at the end of a word. Why? Well, it's just one of those funny little rules in English. Words typically don't end with the letter I. See, this whole team-based idea starts to make sense once you see the patterns. And this same logic works for other long vowels too. Let's take the E team. This is another super reliable one. When you see EE together, you can bet they're making that long E sound, like in see, tree, and feet. And it's the exact same story for Team O. It consistently makes that long O sound. You hear it in boat, goat, and soap. You know, just mastering these predictable teams is a huge confidence booster when you're learning to read. But of course, it can't all be that simple. Some teams are a bit more flexible. They're like the utility players who can handle more than one position. And Team E is the perfect example of this. So most of the time, EA makes the long E sound like in the word team, but it can also make the short E sound like in bread. And then, just to keep us on our toes, it can even make the long A sound like you hear in great and steak.
Is like getting a decoder ring for the English language. It helps you shift from trying to memorize thousands of individual words to actually seeing the patterns in the code itself. It's a total game changer. And it makes you wonder, if vowel teams are this helpful, what other secret letter teams are just hiding there in plain sight, waiting for us to discover them?